Hello, sports fans and baseball fans and those fans of APBA. APBA seems to be taking off lately, and I'm part of the, I'm part of that crew that's doing a lot of APBA games. I received my 2024 season set, so I'm going to attempt to replay the White Sox season and try to do better than 41 wins. We'll see. I think my impression is I should be able to do that because I'm going to start like Crochet is starting today in today's game, the opening day game of 2024. But they took him out after like 5 or 6 innings. I'm not going to do that if he's pitching well. So we'll see, little things like that. Couple of disclaimers. The APBA set comes with the players who were on their final team, and they don't have duplicates of those players for each team that they were on. So there will be a difference in the lineups. I will try to go with the visiting team's lineup as much as I can, and I'll make my lineup depending on how I just want to make the lineup and how the season's going. But for the opening game, I will stick as closely as I can to it. But the disclaimer there is that the White Sox traded so many of their players during the season that, I'm stuck with guys that were there on the roster at the end of the season, and so I have to make a makeshift lineup. Another disclaimer for that is I'm going to use the rosters as the final rosters for each team, so there will be differences to their lineups. But I made an exception in the case of Paul DeJong being my shortstop for the White Sox, because without DeJong, who we had for most of the season, I don't have a shortstop that played anything more than like 68 at-bats or 70 at-bats. And playing a guy like that the entire season would just be kind of, reckless and throw things off too much. So I pulled DeJong from Kansas City and put him on the White Sox. And I'll keep him on the White Sox until roughly the time that he left the team. And then we'll go with that other guy that only had 70 at-bats. And I am going to, as I said, I'm going to try to replay their season. But I'm only going to play the White Sox games. And so I will only have the White Sox stats at the end of the season and their record as replayed. Now, if you recall, I did that with the 79 White Sox with payoff pitch, and that seemed fairly accurate. Things were fairly accurate with that replay. So we'll see if APBA does the same thing. And we will, let's see, 28. And we will go over the roster. We'll go over the lineups, and the pitchers and everything like that as that comes up. So I think that gets everything out of the way. Both teams right now are a 41 defense, so they are the best defensive rating that you could have in the game, which is surprising for the White Sox at least. But yeah, they're both ones defensively, and we will go over the Detroit lineup because Detroit is visiting. This game is in Chicago. This was originally played on March 28th, and the Detroit Tigers originally won the game 1-0. Ibanez will lead off and play third base. Torkelson will bat second and play first. Batting third is Riley Green, and he'll be in center field. The fourth hitter is Carpenter, Kerry Carpenter. Now he's going to be DHing in place of Kana, who was traded during the season, I think, to Milwaukee. Vierling will bat fifth and play right field. Keith bats sixth and plays second. Jake Rogers will bat seventh and be the catcher. Baez will play short and bat eighth, and Meadows will bat ninth and play left field. So then that lineup is facing Garrett Crochet, who is a grade B pitcher. So with all of that having been said and gotten out of the way, let's get on with the game and Ibanez batting. And that's going to be a 4-4. That's going to be pretty good. That's an 8. 8 on a pitcher grade B is a fly out to center field. So he doesn't get on. He doesn't manage to get on even with the good doubles roll, because doubles are good in APBA usually, or at least they're better than the normal run-of-the-mill roll. Torkelson is up. Torkelson gets a 55. That is also an 8, and that will also be a fly ball to center field for the second out. And the next batter is Riley Green, who rolls a 32. 32 is a 26, and 26 is an out at first with assist by the second baseman. So he goes out 4-3, and Detroit gets no runs in the first inning. The lineup for the White Sox will be Benintendi leading off and playing left field. Lewis Robert will bat second and play center. Sheets will be the DH. Originally that was Jimenez, but they traded him to Baltimore. Vaughn will bat fourth and be the first baseman. Lennon Sosa will bat fifth and be the third baseman. Now, originally the third baseman was Moncada. I didn't remember them trading Moncada to anybody, but APBA didn't give me Moncada's card, at least not on Chicago. So it's going to be Sosa. DeYoung will bat sixth and be the shortstop, and we've discussed him. Fletcher will bat seventh and be the right fielder. Maldonado will bat eighth and be the catcher, and Lopez will bat ninth and play second base. So with all that out of the way, we will bat Benintendi. And Skubal is pitching for Detroit. He is a grade A pitcher. There's a roll of 52, and a 52 is a 27. 27 is an out at first with assist. Let's see. Does he have any modifiers? He has an XY modifier. That's going to be an assist by the third baseman. So he goes out 5-3. Lewis Robert is the batter. Ooh, that's a 66, and it's a 1, and it's gone. Lewis Robert hits a home run. And the White Sox, who did not score a run in this game originally, have scored a run. And let's see, Skubal gives up a run, an earned run, and a home run. That brings up Gavin Sheets. Gavin Sheets gets a 12. 12 is a 25. 25 is an out at first with assist by the second baseman, so he goes out 4-3. And Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn gets a 14. 14 is a 30. 30 is a fly out to left field. So the White Sox strike for a run on a Lewis Robert homer, and that's all they get as we go to the top of the second inning. And Kerry Carpenter is the batter for Detroit. He gets a 51. 51 is a 9 on a grade B pitcher. And that's going to be a single over shortstop. So Kerry Carpenter is aboard with a single. He is not a fast runner. And stealing is done automatically through the game, and I didn't get a steal rating thing or a steal result. So Veerling will be up. It's a 23. 23 is a 12. 12 is out at first, assist by the third. Oh, wait a minute. Got to flip to the right chart here. 12 is a double play, assist by the second baseman and shortstop. So a 4-6-3 double play. And or a 6-4-3, whatever. I mean, I don't get caught up in, you know. Anyway, Jake Rogers is now the batter with nobody. Or wait a minute, no, Keith is. Keith is the batter with nobody on. He gets a 45. A 45 is a 14. 14 is a walk. Okay. And I got to mark down that Crochet gave up a walk. And Jake Rogers is the batter. And that is a 56. 56 is a 34, and a 34 is a pop out to the shortstop. So he goes out to 6, and they get no runs in the second, Detroit does. We go to the bottom of the second, where the batter is Lenyn Sosa. He gets a 41. 41 is a 28. 28 is an out at first with assist by the shortstop. So he goes out 6-3. That brings up Paul DeYoung. He gets a 21, or no, a 12. Oh, wait, what is that? No, that's 21. All right, 21. That's a 13. 13 is a strikeout. And that's Skubal's first strikeout. It's the first strikeout of the game, as a matter of fact. And Dominic Fletcher is the batter. He gets a 61. 61 is a 29. 29 is out at first with an assist by the pitcher. So he goes 1-3 and no runs for the White Sox in the second inning. That brings up Baez for Detroit here in the top of the third with the White Sox winning 1-0. That is a 63. 63 is a 30. 30 is a fly out to left field. Meadows is the batter. He gets a 12. 12 is a 25. 25 is an out at first with an assist by the second baseman. And that brings up Ibanez. The top of the order for Detroit. 54. 54 is a 32. 32 is a fly out to right field. And no runs coming in for Detroit in the third, and Crochet is pitching like a champ. Really, so is Skubal, except for the solo home run that he gave up to Robert back in the first inning. Maldonado, the catcher, is the batter. He gets a 1-1, which is a 0, which means it's a re-roll. We'll do the re-roll, and that is a 55. And that is a home run. Maldonado hits a really rare home run. I mean, he had 4 in 135 at bats. So he hits a home run and gives the White Sox a 2-0 lead. And Skubal gives up his second run, his second earned run, his second home run. And, Maldy hits his first home run in the third inning, and it's a 2-0 lead for Chicago with Nicky Lopez up, and he gets a 66, and that's going to be a 0 and a re-roll. And he gets a 55, and a 55 on the reroll is an 8 on an A pitcher. And that's going to be a pop out to first base. Got kind of excited there. Thought I'd get back-to-back homers. But he's out, and Benintendi back to the top of the order with Benintendi. He gets a 33. That's a double, so that should be pretty good. It's a 0, so it's a reroll. And that is a 33 on the reroll, and that's a 1, and Benintendi goes deep. And Benintendi had 20 home runs, so not really out of character. But Skubal has given up 3 solo home runs to Chicago here through not even 3 complete innings. Also, another thing I want to point out is the usage of the players, like particularly pitchers. I'll take them out when I feel they need to be taken out. I'm not going to go by when they actually exited the game. So that brings up Lewis Robert, who homered back in the first. And he gets a 56. 56 is a 34. And that's a pop out to short. So that's 2 down. And Sheets is a batter. Now he had some power. 65 is a 35. 35 is a ground out to first. And the first baseman makes the play. So the White Sox get 2 in the third and have a 3-0 lead. Now, if any team in this league could blow this lead, it would be the White Sox. But let's go with Torkelson leading off the 4th for the Tigers. He gets a 24. 24 is a 13, and 13 is a strikeout. That will be Crochet's first strikeout, surprisingly, because he is a strikeout pitcher. Green is up, and that is a 61. 61 is a 40, and a 40 is a foul, so let's see if he was wild. He's not a wild pitcher, so that is just a foul ball, and we re-roll it. That is a 45. 45 is a 14. 14 is a walk. So Green actually gets a bases on balls. And that is Crochet's second walk of the game, and we flip to the man on first chart. Carpenter gets a 65. 65 is a 35. 35 is a foul out to the catcher. And that brings up Veerling. And that is a, what is that? That is a 16. 16 is a 28. And that is a safe at first, but the runner is out. So it's a fielder's choice, and that's the end of the inning. Or that's the end of the inning for the Detroit Tigers, who get no runs in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The batter is Vaughn, and he gets a 42. 42 is a 13. Base is empty. That is a base on balls. So that's the first walk that Skubal has issued. But he's also issued 3 solo home runs. Lenyn Sosa gets a 52. 52 is a 27. And now with a man at first base, that is a double play assist by the third baseman and second baseman. So that is a 5-4-3 double play. And 2 down. And that brings up DeYoung. Paul DeYoung, and we go back to the bases empty chart. And that is a 16. 16 is a 28, and 28 rating is an out at first, assist by the shortstop, 6-3. And the White Sox get no runs in the fourth. We go to the top of the fifth inning. And Colton Keith is going to be the batter. Colton Keith on the day has walked, and that has been it for him. He gets a 26. 26 is a 27. And a 27 is an out at first with an assist by the third baseman, so he's out 5-3. Which brings up Rogers, Jake Rogers. And he gets a 23. 23 is a 12. And 12 is an out at first with an assist by the third baseman, so that's 5-3 as well. And Baez is the batter. And that's a 66, and that's going to be a 0, so it's a re-roll. And that's a 22, and a 22 is going to be an 8 on a pitcher B, which is a fly out to center. So they came close there. They had a shot right there, but they didn't get the home run. It was a deep fly ball to center field. And the Detroit Tigers come away with no runs in the fifth. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and Dominic Fletcher up. That is a 42. 42 is a 13, and a 13 on a fielding one team is a strikeout. So, second strikeout for Skubal. And Maldi is up. Maldi gets a 23. 23 is an 8. 8 on a pitcher A is going to be a pop fly out to third. And that brings up Lopez. 2 down, nobody on. Nicky Lopez. 45. 45 is a 14. 14 is a walk. That is a second walk issued by Skubal. And Benintendi is the batter, and he gets a 13. 13 is a 14, and that's a walk. Oh, no. Okay, so Benintendi is aboard with a walk. And there is 2 on now at first and second, so I got to go to the first and second chart. And there are 2 down for Luis Robert. And that's a 44. That might be good. That's an 8. 8 on a grade A pitcher is out at first, runners advance 1 base, but that doesn't matter because it's the third out. So, and let's see. Assist by the third baseman. So that's just going to be 5-3. And that is the inning for the White Sox. We go to the top of the 6th. The Tigers batting in the top of the 6th with the bottom of the order. Meadows coming up. The 9th hitter. That is a 54. 54 is a 32. Gotta go back to the bases empty. And that's a fly out put out by the right fielder. Top of the order, Andy Ibanez. That's a 55. Should be good for them. It's an 8, though. It's an 8 on a grade B pitcher, which is a fly out to center field. and Torkelson is the batter. And that's a 33. That should be something good. It's a 6 on a grade B pitcher, which is a double to right center. And that brings up Riley Green. They got a good chance to score a run here. Riley Green, a good hitter, gets a 14. 14 is a 30. 30 is a fly out to left field, though, and that's it for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 3-0 White Sox here. And Gavin Sheets is the batter. And he gets a 22. That might be good. It's an 8, though. 8 on a grade A pitcher is probably an out, and it's going to be a pop fly to third base. So out 5, and Vaughn, the batter. That is a 31. 31 is a 14. 14 is a walk. And that is the third walk issued by Skubal. He hasn't really been in any trouble. He's just given up solo home runs. Lennon Sosa gets a 54. That's a 32. 32 is a fly out to right field. And DeYoung is up. And that is a 54. 54 is a 32. 32 is a fly out to right. The White Sox get no runs in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. Time running out here for the Tigers. They're down by 3. Carpenter gets a 64. 64 is a 13. 13 is a strikeout. Crochet with only his 2nd strikeout of the game, surprisingly. Vierling gets a 21. No, is that? Yeah, 21. And that's a 32. 32 is a fly out to right. And Keith is up. That's a 44. Might be good for them. 8, though, and 8 is going to be a fly out to center on a grade B pitcher. No runs in the 7th. Chicago coming up with Fletcher, the leadoff batter in the 7th inning. Dominic Fletcher gets a 46. 46 is the 13, which is a strikeout. Third strikeout for Skubal, who's down 3-0 here. Maldi, who hit a home run earlier, gets a 14. That's a 30. 30 is a fly out to left. And Lopez, the 9th hitter, gets a 45. 45 is a 14. 14 is a walk. So Lopez has walked twice and grounded out to third base. Benintendi gets a 35, top of the order here. 35 is a 40. 40 is a foul. So he stays in the box and just has a strike on him. And that is a 12. 12 is a 25. 25 is an out at first with an assist by the second baseman. And that will be the final out of the 7th. No runs for the White Sox. We go to the top of the 8th. And Rogers batting. I'm going to keep Crochet in there because he's pitching a shutout. And, you know, like I said, I'm managing to win these games. I'm not managing to tie the White Sox actual record. 61 is a 13. And 13 is going to be a strikeout. And that was Rogers. Crochet with the K. Baez is up, and that is a 25. 25 is an out at first with an assist by the second baseman, so it's a 4-3. And Meadows is the batter. That is a 55. That might be good for him. No, it's not. It's an 8, which is a fly out to center, as we've established quite a few times. And so the Tigers get no runs in the 8th. Now, Skubal has pitched 7, and I will take him out. He pitched 7. He allowed 3 runs, struck out 3, and walked 3. And we will find another pitcher to come in for him. We're going to go with Jason Foley. So Jason Foley comes in for Skubal. Lewis Robert is the batter I've got. Yep. And that is a 56. 56 is a 34. 34 is a pop out to short. Foley, by the way, if I didn't mention it, is a grade B pitcher. Sheets is up. That is a 41. 41 is a 26. 26 is an out at first with an assist by the second baseman, 4-3. And Vaughn is up. 2 outs, nobody on. 66 is a 1, and it's a home run for Vaughn. The White Sox extend their lead to 4-0. And that brings up Lenyn Sosa. That is a 52. 52 is a 27. 27 is an out at first with an assist by the third baseman. And that will be it. But the White Sox strike for another run. So Detroit right here has to have 4 runs off of Crochet, who may go the distance with a shutout. 54 for Ibanez is a 32, and 32 is a fly out to right. Torkelson is the batter. He gets a 53. 53 is a 20. 20 is a first base on error by the second baseman. So Lopez makes an error, which allows Torkelson to go to first. Riley Green is the batter. Gets a 53. 53 is a 15. 15 is a fly out to left. So there's 2 down for Detroit. They got an uphill battle here. Carpenter is the batter. He gets a 31. 31 is a 9. 9 on a grade B pitcher is a single over shortstop. And let's see. Well, wait a minute. I was looking at the wrong chart. And what was that? Single to right, runner to third. Okay, so runners are at the corners. Carpenter with a base hit that sends Torkelson to third. And Vierling up. And Vierling gets a 16. 16 is a 28. And I got to look at the runner on first and third. First and third, 28 is single to left, one runner scores, other to second. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. No, it depends on the pitcher. And that's going to be a put out at first base. And that is going to be it because of a grade B pitcher pitching. So that's your final score. Is the White Sox win this one 4-0. So somebody got a 0, but it wasn't the White Sox this time. Detroit managed how many hits? Three hits. I think just 3 hits for them. And none of them made an error. For us, we had a ton of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 hits and they were all home runs. And we did make an error. So that's your final score. We win the opening day game, which did not happen in real life. The White Sox win it 4-0. The winning pitcher is Crochet. The loser is Skubal. And that is it for me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zalke, signing off.